we had quite a bit of volatility between 1 and 2. We had this fake out right around 1 o'clock where it looked like we were going to go lower. I was expecting it to look like we were going to go higher, but instead it looked like we were going to go lower, and then we went higher a little bit. But this is really volatility, 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 and then between the 2 and 3 o'clock hour, I was expecting more sideways, like more of a downward kind of trajectory on this fluctuation. But that's followed by a tower card. So we should see a pretty sharp drop there. That and the fact that it's also got the correlation to the death card, just like at the beginning of the day had this correlation to the death card. And there's also a trade opportunity at the end of the day. I was expecting to get into a long position here in the midst of the Empress card because that's usually a good place to get into a long, and probably out for a day trade. I bought another put right around here. Sorry, right around here. So a little bit. I was a little bit underwater for a bit. Now I'm probably back above water. But I want to be very mindful, guys. So there's a low correlation at the close. There's a low correlation in the post market, but these are super bullish cards. So my sense is that overnight we probably have this big move to the upside, which is why I want to get into a long position before we close. That doesn't mean that if you're in a short position and it's not doing so hot, it doesn't mean that you need to sell that short position. My sense is that we're going to have another opportunity, or probably a better opportunity, on the 13th. It looks like it actually happens like overnight on the 13th into the 14th. Excuse me, guys. Hey, Chad, you made it. Thinking the same thing. I didn't read your last statement until after I said that. Hey, Robert. And this is a pretty erratic kind of day. Back and forth, kind of like a narrow range here. In the midst of that erratic behavior, you revisit a crest usually, but I think what's important, guys, to remember is that the low correlation card is the strife card. So there's a rally into key resistance and then a decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. It looks like that lovers card came a little bit late too. This looks right here looks just like lovers card energy, right? We have this prominent move higher, full retracement. That's lovers card. So that was a little bit late into the game. That was at 1 o'clock rather than around noontime. But sequence of events still good. And something important to remember is that the rally going into that lovers card, it indicates an opportunity to open up a short position. So being that like that's like right around these price levels, my sense is we go much lower, at least here at the end of the day. It looks like that's what's taking place.
You're going to sun to you just haven't yet. What do you got a typo there, Chad? What do you mean going to sun to you? Sub to me? Is that what you mean? Guidance? Can I give guidance on COST? More bullish or bearish this week? Hey, it was like. Wow, look at that move. Yikes. So it looks like we probably established support on like a multi-day, probably like on a 1 year chart kind of scale support, and then there's a move back up to like back to the upside. So like multi-year support, it's probably not there. What could be, but I think probably not quite there. This is another one. I think this is a pretty good one. You could do this one too. You could probably get away with this one. That's a support. Um, but there's like support. It means that we're going to bottom out basically, or we're going to do some sideways rotation. But I think probably we bottom out and there's a move back up. Hey Kenny, 811216. Are we going to see the S&P 500 multiple week drop from now to April? And will this price level go lower in April than March? Thank you. So my sense is that we do like price swinging. There's a pretty big drop, like somewhere in this like crazy wild week here. There's at least one pretty big drop, probably two. And not so sure that we come back to highs here at the end of the month. I'm not so sure we do. We probably come back to like some sort of peak, but I don't think it'll be a high. Um, and then as far as April is concerned, I mean, there's like a really big move to the upside in April, and probably in a lot of stocks we have like a high there in April, May somewhere, and then another big drop because we've got lows for the year. I think, or probably lows for the year, or really really close here around the end of May or into June. So this period of time here, like we're about to enter into Mercury retrograde's influence, which starts on the 18th. And generally speaking, it's not always the case. You'll see it pretty wild, like, well, what's really always been the case is you see wild volatility, but what's not always the case, but most of the time is it's pretty wild to the downside. And then in this period of actual Mercury retrograde, not just its influence, but the actual retrograde period, it's kind of like a reverse pattern, and then you repeat the pattern again in a third period. So we probably, that's what we see. What you can bet on are reversals around these times, around the 18th, around the 1st, around the 25th, and around the 18th. Hey, AV. How does Dogecoin look? Doge is actually one, if you guys aren't aware, that we stopped covering as of April on a monthly basis. We just don't have time to do them all. Um, So we should have some sort of like scary fake out tomorrow. There's a pretty notable rally here into highs. Um, but there's like a fake out. So I think probably tomorrow we have a trough. Actually, it's more like some like it's like a whipsaw type of action. Interesting. Now there is some possibility that we have one more high here on the 14th, which would sort of still be within that price swingy period of time. But overall, I'm pretty confident we end to the downside here. And this is a pretty good opportunity, I think, here on the 27th. Will Nvidia do 800 or less this week? I just want to point this out. How crazy is that, guys? Like I just missed it. Just missed it. But like we were going higher, it looked like we were wrong, and then look at that. Like just missed that. Um Nvidia. Nvidia is another one that we're discontinuing as of April. If you got the all paid version subscription, though, you probably already saw the Theta and the Chainlink monthly readings come out for April. So the question was it 800? Looks like it probably hits it tomorrow. Um, Puts us like right here. That's definitely within realistic range. I don't think we'll stay there long based on the strength card. We probably have a big move off of that back to highs. Either that and then possibly even a higher one on the 13th. Hey, AU. May I ask about XRP tomorrow? Do you see a trough before going up for a peak? 12/3/24 today. XRP price is skyrocketing. I'm not sure what you mean by 12/3/24. Do you mean is it going to go to a peak all the way in December from here? Or are you asking about 12/3/23? Nice. XRP we are continuing on a monthly basis, FYI guys. This is one of the ones we're keeping. So that's probably what we were picking up on for the 10th. um, well, matter of fact, yeah, I think this is probably here. So we should see a pretty notable drop back down tomorrow. Um, this really should be more like we haven't seen much erratic behavior. Right? If this turns into more like erratic behavior, then I would say we're more so into the 11th, 12th. But I think it's probably this right here that we nailed, and there's going to be a significant decline from these levels. We might see another high here on the 15th, 14th, 15th, maybe even the 12th. It's possible, but it's going to be in the midst of like a lot of volatility. It may not be a high. It may just be like prominent. Um, But I think I'd want to be bearish from this point overall. I don't think I would want to be bullish. I mean, on like a multi-day kind of swing trade, I don't think I'd want to be bullish moving like from this point forward. I'd want to be more like, I mean, you might get some higher moves. It's possible there's another high around the 12th, 13th, 14th. What I would probably do if I was in right now is I'd probably take a like if I had a good profit, I'd probably take a sizable chunk of that, and then maybe leave a little bit on in case we go slightly higher. But I would be looking for opportunities to position myself to the downside at this point to exit out around the 21st, or if you've got the risk tolerance around the 30th. Oh, I read you did gave me a European format, and I read it as a US format. Okay, so tomorrow, yeah, I think we probably see it. We either see a sharp drop, or we see erratic behavior, like back and forth, possibly giving you opportunities in both directions. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where we are, guys, because we had this prominent trough right here and this prominent peak almost right on top of it. We went from a prominent trough to a prominent peak. So this should be followed by a pretty sharp decline, is my sense. And then we'll probably revisit this high at some point, like as another opportunity in the not too distant future, like next few days somewhere. Hey, Joe. Yeah, I'll send you the link again. That's for USO, right? Let me just write that down so I don't forget. Hey, NFB Connect. I think you probably caught me talking about XRP. If not, you just got to scroll back. We talked about it. I'm pretty sure you were on for that. Um, Good day, Adam. Are we going to see 80K or 88K Bitcoin before the pullback? Still going. Whew. Oh, I have it right here. Yeah, so we should see a pretty sharp, just like I was talking about with, I forgot what we were looking at, but pretty much the same deal. We've got a sharp drop off of a high here. There was a trough and a peak here. And it's going to be pretty wild tomorrow. But I think this is it. This is probably where we turn around. See, I have like the high somewhere within here. It was really hard to pinpoint. It's because we were making new highs, you know? That's why it was hard to pinpoint, because it was like a high, then another high, then another high, then another high, you know? So we might have one more tomorrow, but this is probably it. If we decline from this, if we decline tomorrow from this price level, like, and then we turn around, I would say, like, we see us turning around, I say there's a very good chance that we come back to the price level that we declined from. Because that's that Ace of Swords price level. Oh, Joe, no, we canceled that level of the membership just because it was too underpriced, and um, it was kind of like taking away like the need for anybody to do like a one-on-one. So rather than, we basically raised the price to 150. Understand if people don't hop back in because it's a big price hike, but it's much more around the price of what it should be. Like, $50 a month's like $7 an hour based on how much time I'm spending there. So it was something that we were trying to like grandfather everybody that already had a membership. We were trying to grandfather that price in for them, but YouTube doesn't allow you to do that. The only way that we could do it was to cancel it and then make a new membership, basically. No hard feelings, my friend, not personal. How does LIT and ARB coins look? Basically, Joe, by the way, it's totally like that happened to everybody that had a star next to their name, FYI. How does LIT and ARB coins look remainder of March? More bullish or bearish? Oh, appreciate you. It was luck. Uh, all right, so LIT overall trend direction for the remainder of March. Huge move higher, guys. And since we're already at the upper end of a range there, we're probably going to push this range right here higher. Let's see. What the heck is that? Do you guys see there's a little dinosaur in my chart? What is that? It looks like a brontosaurus. So it looks like we probably hit this 589 price level, this 589, 590 price level in March. And if not in March, it would then be in April probably. But we're going to hit that pretty soon, it seems, based on what I was looking at. That was LIT. And so ARB. So this one's a bit more mixed. We have a rally along a diagonal trend line. And you can see that's already kind of taking place here. think it's more like this actually when we broke through. Yeah, that's about it. All right, so we got this rally along a diagonal trend line right here that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. So how much higher do we go? We don't go much higher than this. Not in the month of March. So I'm if I'm wrong and we just go higher, because this could happen. Like we could just go higher with these. I think these are probably talking about overnight, but there is the possibility of us going higher. I still think we go into like a trough. We got about 15 minutes, some sort of trough, but that could have been it right there. That could have been the trough. So with that said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into a long position like I expect, like I wanted to. And probably it's a little risky because I would have expected to get it at a lower price, right? But with what I see happening tomorrow, we have some sort of breakout. So my sense is that unless we have this sharp drop here at the very end of the day, or we open lower, and then that would make this the breakout. I think because we're opening higher, there's a possibility that this is the breakout. We break out through 513. So I just want to be in a long position in case of that. I'm holding my short positions to exit probably on Wednesday, and if not Wednesday, then probably on Friday. Somewhere in there, there's going to be a lot of wild stuff going on. Up, and look, this might be where we have the drop. And the tower card is always a peak. It's not it's never a crest. The tower card is a peak that we sell off from. So this is a peak, right? This is a crest. You could say this is a crest, sort of. It's also a peak, but this is more of a crest. This is more of a peak. This is more of a crest, peak. You see what I mean? Right at the trade opportunities right here at the close though, so I'm gonna hold off and not doubt myself. We did pretty well with that exit at the beginning of the day, where um, we advised not to get scared out with this because we were hitting this resistance, and after the resistance there was a decline into a low around 10 o'clock, and you see that low took place just after 10 o'clock. So I exited right around here, just off of the low. It's pretty solid. Purchased another partial short there, another partial short around here. They're not doing so. No, they're not doing poor, like awful. I mean, they're a little underwater, but not by much. Lit is getting lit. I like that. That should be a meme. Hey, Conrad. Good to see you, my man. How have you been? Um, CPI is tomorrow morning at 8:30. I think you should get in a long position before the end of the day, like right at the close. Get into a partial long. Because you could probably close the long like for an overnight swing. That this yellow here are cash out opportunities. Princess of My God, sorry guys, I have such indigestion. Princess of Discs energies, but then it's Princess of Discs, Princess of Discs, Ace of Discs. Oh, Ace of Discs, right? So like it's almost like it's telling me to wait, right? Princess of Discs, Princess of Discs. But yeah, I would close out of a long position probably at the end of the day there. Or you could wait and close out overnight, but it might be risky because that full card could be to the downside. So I would look for this decline that we're seeing right now in the last few minutes. I would look for an opportunity to open up a long position. Awesome, my man. Well, welcome back. And guys, if you just hopped on, uh, this Friday I'm going to be announcing coupon code that gives you the buy 2 1 years for 600. Normally, buying 2 1 years would be $1,000, so you're getting $400 off. That coupon code announced. The only way to get that coupon code is to watch, to be on Friday, and either that or if you're an angel investor, you're on the Discord, the free Discord server, then all of the coupon codes are always posted there too. Yeah, I hear that, my man. I couldn't count how many times I've had to do that. Well, if you're so good, where's the money? It's called having expenses and no regular income, bro. Like you can't like become a professional trader trading like off of your like the money that you need to live on, and people don't understand that. I think you can make money with that money, but like you have to like have capital, and then you have to have money that you spend to live on. You know what I mean? When you have to dip into it, it really makes it difficult to progress. And I'm sure you agree with me based on your life happenings. How does AAVE look the remainder of March? It's a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. All right, so I just hopped into some calls. This is where I'm at right now. I'm basically just down a little bit. So I just picked up 2 calls for the pop overnight, and I'm considering maybe hopping out of one of these puts because I hopped into it kind of hastily. I probably shouldn't have. It wasn't at the time that I was planning to. So I think I'll probably hop out of that 512 put. The 513 put, however, is you can see it expires out on the 22nd. Yeah, I'm gonna hop out of that for a bad day trade. $40 loss, no big deal. All right, so I'm two for one. I got 1 put. I got 2 calls. It's a tight straddle, but I did bring in like almost $300 profit this morning on top of all that, so not really a loss, just a little off the profits. And I did that because I could see we were turning around right here in the last minute, which is this lust card, which either would happen right at the close, or if it didn't happen at the close, it would be an indication of overnight or in the morning. But I think we're probably going to see that anyways. I don't see what's. Matter of fact, these are places to exit. So if I'm wrong when we open lower, I would exit my short position right there for a good profit and probably buy more of a long position to close at the end of the day. Hey TT, you got a question before I hop off, my man? I'm gonna cap the questions off here. But TT, let me know if you got a question. So guys, just some things that I don't normally talk about. We do now offer custom monthly readings. So if you want to get a monthly reading done, like what we're looking at, this is a monthly reading by the day where the highs and the lows are for the month. You can get any ticker or crypto symbol covered by going to custom monthly rating here. We also have total access, which is a new subscription, and that basically gives you access to not just all of the monthly pays that we do, but all of the 1 years that are monthlies as well. As those accumulate, you have access to all of those as they come out as well. That's a total access subscription. That's our highest subscription now. And I'll also tell you guys a little secret that I don't think everybody knows. So when you order a 1 year custom report, $4.99, right? When you order a paid 1 year report that's already been done, there's a little discount on that. $100 off. That was for 1 year's. The $100 off that I was just talking about. TT going once, going twice. And I'm also gonna today have my webmaster bring down the ebook. It's time to update this before I continue selling it. So we're gonna take this down and do a second edition, and then everybody that's got the first edition, provided we have a way to get it to you, we're gonna send out the updated version when it's done. But that's gonna take some time, just to be clear. All right, my friends, gonna roll. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. Yeah, there's that move to the upside, guys.